And welcome back to another episode of the MindCep Podcast, helping millennial professionals maximize their performance. And with your host, Alex Muir. And today, we're going to be speaking with our special guest, Reece Tomkow. Reece and I go way back. We're cousins. We played lacrosse, a little bit of lacrosse together, in practice, and we're both sports enthusiasts and fellow athletes. Love bodybuilding, love working out, love chatting about eating well, a little bit of intermittent fasting for fat loss, and much, much more. And Reece currently has a background in business administration. He is going to Bishops University in Quebec, and currently he's in Ottawa, Ontario as of right now. And he's going to be pursuing a career in life insurance. So please welcome special guest Reece Tomkow to the podcast. And this episode is brought to you by RadioGuestList.com, the #1 free radio guest, podcast, and talk show guest expert interview booking service on the internet.
Yeah, buddy.
Good to see you, brother. Well, good to hear from you. Sorry, I wish we were seeing each other.
Yeah, I wish, with this whole pandemic going on, man.
Gosh, I'm just totally remembering. I feel like hearing your voice brings me back to being at your house in Parksville.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Being in the backyard, or having your dad make us some steaks, or whipping the lacrosse ball around. Oh, those were some awesome times, man.
They were, man. They were. And then me coming over to White Rock and me and you going to the box to shoot around.
Yeah.
So much fun, man.
Oh, I always was jealous of you, of that big wall Uncle Doug built you.
Oh, yeah.
That was beauty. And he put the targets up on there and everything, and make you go left, right. And he'd have both hands going and everything. I was like, man, he's good with both hands. I got to work on my righty.
Yeah.
You really helped me with my offhand. And I remember I learned that from you, and transitioning into university, that was never an issue when you get, guarded and you had to go to your offhand. That was never a problem for me, because you helped me learn that from an early age, and I'm really happy I did.
Oh, no, for sure.
You can obviously, you still have your dominant hand, but you need to have that as a backup.
Definitely.
You need to have that ready. And
definitely.
Young Alex, he was in the flesh, just showing me how it's done. And then you just throwing up the bag, you just go in the garage throwing the bag around like it's light work, and I just would break my wrist if I punched that thing. Well, gosh, man, I remember you were like, Reece, you should put on gloves, but didn't want to listen, eh? I didn't know any better.
Oh, yeah, those good times, man. The speed bag, and I don't know if we had it at the time, but my dad also has a heavy bag too, and he got that, I'd say, within the last 5 years or so.
Okay.
But like heavy bag, just all you need is a skipping rope, a heavy bag, and a speed bag, and you can literally sculpt an amazing physique that way.
If
and
you
run
can get
and
a
running.
pull-up bar in there too somewhere, that would be key. But in general, you're as a fighter, your shoulders need to be cut, and like boulders, and that the bag, skipping, push-ups, that's all you really need. I have a really good friend, Donovan Moore. He's a good friend of mine. I grew up with him, and I wish you guys would really gel well together. But he would come to the gym with me, and I would go do my my resistance training session, doing whatever I am, barbell complexes or whatnot. And but he had a gym membership at the public gym because he was a fighter, and as a fighter, he wanted access to the sauna because it's really good. Not only for your mortality rate and everything, and it being beneficial health-wise, it builds endurance, like in your mind. It's because it's an uncomfortable setting. But he would do 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, and 300 bodyweight squats in like a workout. And
wow.
There I am doing my traditional weight lifting. But when you see someone consecutively bang out 15 plus pull-ups, it's pretty respectable, and it's just the one thing in fitness that you can respect is everyone has their niche, but when you have someone who's an expert in it, whether it be triathlon or bodybuilding or Ironman or CrossFit, whatever it is, there's you just respect someone who's dominant in their field or wherever they're at. So me over there, I feel good throwing up the 90s dumbbells on the bench press. But when I see my buddy consecutively rep out 25 reps of pull-ups, strict, full range of motion, that just reminded me of you, because you were always telling me you don't need that stuff. And you really, with your body, you can sculpt your body with just your body weight.
Oh,
you really can.
For sure. And right now is a testament to that, because I haven't been in the gym in 3 months. And I feel like I've been able to put on more muscle because I've been doing way different movements. So I've been doing, I've been working my way up to doing one-arm chin-ups, one-arm push-ups, pistol squats. So one-legged pistol squats.
Pistol squats.
Yeah. So all these new movements that I'm doing are very they're isolation, and they're trying to isolate the one side, because what it does is. Yeah, exactly. So it really brings out that extra chest development and arm development and leg development, and just really trying to build all around explosiveness and speed, right?
And stability too. You're really going to develop some great stability. So when you go back into the gym, putting weight on your back, you may not be able to push as much weight, but you're going to feel really stable in a heavy back squat or something like that, right? Like you're going to feel really good if you're doing those kind of things. But good for you, man. Yeah, I've definitely I know you sent me a list of questions, and I made a bit of notes, but if you want to get to that right now, we can. I know
sure.
How long we're 5 minutes in here. So if you do remember or recall, you sent me 5 questions, or was it 6? I believe I will have to check my messages here. We'll start with the first 5.
Sure.
But the first one you sent me was, what was moving from West Coast to East Coast like for you? And what is the culture in Quebec versus BC? So, and a response to that I have is, obviously, I'm born and raised in BC, like yourself. And the culture is different here because, it's less of a city vibe. It's, I know you're from Parksville, so it's a bit more remote than, say, the suburb, White Rock or South Surrey, where I'm from. Pretty busy place, lot going on, lots of traffic, lots of businesses. So where I'm at now it's more of a remote area, less of a city, and more of a back end country vibe. And for me, as a BC guy like yourself, I love it. When I came here to visit here for school, early in my senior year of high school, I came to, I'm at Bishops. I'm not sure if you remember that, but it's Bishops University I'm at.
Right.
You say Sherbrooke because it's more recognizable, but it's like geographically, but it's really Lennoxville, which is a small town just outside Sherbrooke, which is it's the university town of Bishops essentially.
Oh, okay.
So I love nature, and the transition here in terms of like geographical factors has been great. Lots of forests, fields, lots of open space, obviously some really cold winters. And something that has been a transition. Like, my gosh, man, when you wake up one morning and there's a foot or 2 feet of snow and all this stuff, you're wondering why people are telling you to prepare in advance, because that's something that was a shock for the first time, is the winters in the fall. But now, with being obsessed with ice bath, cold therapy in general, I actually love the cold and, things of that nature. So the cold to me is kind of, it's almost not a preference. Obviously, I don't like it when it's buckets of snow, but just the transition to it was hard at first, but it's very enjoyable because the comparison in terms of the nature side of things is just like BC. Lots of trees, lots of forests, trails to roam in. Like, I know you love running, and you would love it here because there's so many nice trails to go running on, and nice tread on your joints. It's not like pounding on concrete, right? So, and other than that, I think when you leave the college town of Bishops, there's some cultural changes, like out of Lennoxville, more into the heart of Sherbrooke, which is the bigger city around here. The University of Sherbrooke, which has, I think, over 20,000 students, where my school's only about 3, not even. We're about 2,800. We're very small. But that at first it was a big adjustment because I'm used to being around a lot of people. But then I just kind of fell in love with the privacy and being in kind of my own little realm. I like that. It allows me to really be an individual here and stand out. So
no, for sure. You're not just a number, you're a person.
Exactly. Having the opportunity to speak to your professors in person is fantastic. Being known firsthand, like on a first name basis, you're not going to get that at a school like UBC when lecture halls are filled with 400 or 500 students on a regular basis. I think my biggest class here I've had is around 120 students. That's not that big. And it's fantastic. You really can truly talk to your profs. The difference is more of our professors are a lot of research-based professors, so they're not maybe as traditional of teachers or educators as a large-scale university or professor. But other than that, yeah, man, the transition here has been at first, again, like first year away from home from anybody's pretty tough. But other than that, it's been pretty smooth.
Right on, man. That's awesome to hear. That's awesome. Yeah.
Continue. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say my next question for you was, I know how obsessed you are with field lacrosse right now, and with your education and playing field, are you all into field and you want to go pro, or are you more focused on building a career and finishing your education?
The second route for sure. I love. Like lacrosse is my passion, and it brought me here to Bishops in the first place and out east. And it's always going to be a part of my life. And I still want to be a part of the sport, but my way to put it is I don't plan on going pro, but I plan on training the pros. And better than that to me, it still allows me to be a part of the sport. I'm still very passionate about, I still go shoot the ball for fun all the time at my local field and net here. Play wall ball, because not only is lacrosse really fun, but it's a great workout. Right? Like playing wall ball gets your shoulders and arms sculpted a little bit, especially the shoulders, doing lots of quick sticks on the wall. Like you know what I'm talking about. Gets the shoulders burning, and you can incorporate footwork into it, make it more athletic. And of course, we just love the game. So it's a pastime of mine. I've played it my whole life, practically. I dropped all other major sports for it and I dedicated my, as part of my adolescence to deciding on where I was going to school was largely dependent on the lacrosse program. So I don't plan on going pro, like I've said. I plan on training the pros because I love, being a learner and a student. I love learning new things. I like the idea of being a continuous learner and just continuing to grow my toolbox, my knowledge on the human body, physiology as it relates to sport and athletic development. So I think that's why I want to go this route. But in terms of future in lacrosse, I definitely am committed to playing, some senior B, which I've already looked in Sherbrooke. There's actually some good leagues in Quebec, or some decent senior B leagues. And there's one here in Sherbrooke that starts in the fall. I met a gentleman 2 months ago at my local field here who I wrote down my email and number. It was kind of right before COVID hit, and we were kind of doing social distancing on the field, just playing pass because we didn't have anybody to play pass with. So I was like, if you stay over there, I'll stay over here and we can play pass. And we just chatted. And so see that in terms of quitting lacrosse, no, I want to very much stay a part of the sport, but professionalism, I'd rather be a professional in something else.
Gotcha. No, that's really well said. Yeah.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yourself, what did you decide? I just am curious what you've done.
Yeah.
Or sorry, if this is more about my, if the questioning basis is more for me.
No. Yeah. It can go back and forth for sure. So to give you a little bit of insight into kind of, how my career started and evolved, I always thought that I wanted to be in banking for like 25 years. So in college, initially going right out of high school into college, I was 18 and I wanted to, pursue finance, and that was my sole focus at the time. And I'm like, I want to get into banking. I think. And
investment banking.
Yeah. And initially that's what I thought. But in order to get to that point, you have to go into retail banking, which is basically like a branch bank, right? RBC, CIBC, and
totally.
that sort of thing. So I went right into college right after high school. And then I kind of did off and on I basically spread out my business diploma over 4 years. And during that time, I was trying to make sure that I worked as much as I could so I didn't accrue any student debt. Because my number one rule for myself was I don't want any student loans. I just don't want it. And I knew, yeah, everyone has, I still have debt now, but everyone has their own sort of
ideology of how they want to approach school.
Exactly. And that was one of my big ideologies for myself. So as I spread it out, the time to finish it up, and I'm like, okay, I want to get a banking job. There's these job fairs, and you probably have them at your school as well. They always have employment fairs or even military, RCMP.
Little networking events.
Exactly. So every single opportunity to get close to banking or to a manager or to get an interview, I took. So I would be on campus. I'd be looking at flyers because I'd have flyers all over the place. And you probably have it too. Like you have a specific business building or a specific like sports building for athletes. So
totally.
So I would use those opportunities to try and create other opportunities to get interviews or even just a face-to-face or a phone call. And it took time. It took me about 1 to 2 years, but I managed to accrue a good personal network from school and then outside of school. And because the biggest thing that you're going to learn when you want to have the job of your dreams or the build a career or business of your dreams is you need to network like crazy. And
100%.
Yeah. And that's what I did. And then literally as I was about to finish up my business diploma, I still had a little bit of time left. I was able to get into, at age 21, I was able to get into PC Financial, which is basically, they've rebranded as Simply Financial now, but they're an affiliate bank of CIBC. So once I got in there, I was 20, and then I wasn't quite 21 yet. I was only 20 years old. I was blown away, and it was a huge opportunity. And they paid like a lot of times banks help you with the education.
Pay your schooling. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. They want to make sure you people are being more, what's the word, ethical nowadays. They want you to actually not just reel you away from your education. They want you to ensure you get your credentials, and then come work for us.
Exactly. And there's a lot more, you can negotiate today, right? Like they're like,
totally.
Like if you want to go to an Ivy League school, you want to ensure that your needs are being met to a certain degree, right? So
of course.
There's way more room to negotiate nowadays, and I'm the kind of person like I will eat up education and learning like yourself anytime I can and any chance I can, because I want to be a very multifaceted individual. So I don't want to just be laser focused on one area. I want to be able to be able to flex. So where you can, okay, I specialize in banking, but now I'm in marketing. Or I specialize in marketing, now I'm like a physiotherapist, right? Like having that diverse skill set is actually, today we need specialists, but on the other hand, we need diverse skill sets in order to be competitive, right? And to be
well said, brother. Very well said.
And to be the best version of yourself. So that's, to me, like,
I love what I'm hearing.
Yeah. So that's what helped me get into banking. It was the networking and just wanting it. You just got to want it. Like, and wherever your head's at right now. Exactly. And everyone has different priorities. And now, like cycling back till today, I did 4 years in banking, and then I got to branch banking, and it wasn't entirely my fit. So then I got into marketing for a newspaper, and I did that for about 8 months, and then that wasn't a fit. And then I got into what I'm doing now, which is promo marketing. And that's basically helping clients with like their swag and branded apparel and lots of cool stuff that you can do with promo marketing. It's basically building a brand, either helping someone build their brand from the ground up or helping an existing brand show that company different ways that they can brand themselves on different products.
That's like what I'm internship is for right now, or my own. It's essentially that. It's promo marketing. It's helping a gentleman grow his own brand.
Wow.
And he's an alumni of my school, so it's kind of worked out organically. But yeah, the goal is, once life turns back to normality, obviously pursue something with for more money. But yeah, for yourself, that's an incredible journey, man. Wow. You've really, you didn't just like go the school route and realize that's not what you want to do. You got like hands-on experience and really decided, hey, is this really for me? I'm not just going to shut the book off of general thought. I'm going to really try it and give it a good go. And I'm sure it's funny. You think, negative outcomes won't yield positive like lessons, but they will. They definitely will, right? Yeah. Like one door closes, another opens. That saying is, I think that's really valid. And it's valid in your case for sure. Like you tried one thing, you tried another, and diversification, huge. Because I could agree there in terms of schooling. My first year at school, and this is actually falls into your next question. What do career endeavors look like?
Yeah.
And that really ties in with school. Because in my first year, I was a business student, and I was, we've had different lives. I think we're at the point now where adults, we can recognize we had different upbringings and culture and family and environment. All that's huge, right? That's all huge. And it depicts really, you don't really start realizing these things, or I didn't, at least till I was about 19, 20 years old, where I realized where you're at in life is, the sooner you can recognize it, the better. So to anyone who hears this, who's younger, the sooner you can recognize it, the better. But you can totally depict where you want to go in life. There's no barriers on you. It's all about priorities, how much you want it. And really, timing is a very important thing I've learned too. But I have friends in my lives who, they recognize that we didn't have the same upbringing, or one of us was maybe more fortunate than the other, but they've never made excuses, and they've really pursued through, like yourself, recognizing opportunities, trying to be first. And so for myself, I was, told when I was coming to university, my dad said he was enrolling me for business school because he thought that's what was best for me, because not to mention he was paying for my schooling. And to that degree, you're 18 years old, you're not really going to argue with your parents. If you're getting, if you don't have to, like you said, accrue and deal with some debt, you feel like it's only right to abide by their rules to a certain degree, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I enrolled in business school, and the first year was miserable. I didn't like it. There was certain classes I loved. I loved economics, and I really liked marketing classes and business management. And there was a business ethics course I tried taking, but it was, I actually took it, and the teacher found out I didn't have the prerequisite. So, which was a math class. So I had to pass this math class to get it first, but like things like that, like I was really interested in that. But, more and more, I found myself throughout my first year of university and trying intro to finance classes and accounting and calculus classes and things that pertain to finance. I really thought that would have been my niche as well, because if I'm consistent with it and regimented, I'm actually quite good with numbers. If I have a systematic process, I can really operate with numbers well. It just needs to be my own niche, I guess you'd say. So some people's niche is accounting. Some people's is bookkeeping. It's a variety of things. They're all interrelated for sure. But I found more and more throughout my first year, it wasn't my thing. So at the end of it, after failing a calculus class and not passing an economics class and just getting by in like some other hard, like other class that, you realize at the end of the day, it's largely because you didn't want to do it. It's not that if the work was there, you wouldn't have done it. So I told that to my dad, and my school had a very new and innovative sports studies program. And I was like, Dad, I want to take a chance and try something new and just do something different. So I enrolled in the sports studies program for my second year. And since then, I've absolutely loved it. I have a major in athletic development and a minor in entrepreneurship currently. That's what I'll be graduating with. And like you said, it's giving me the ability to be diverse and have a unique, someone's going to look on my transcript and be, those are two really different things. That's really different. One is a minor graduate from the business school, and the other one's from a science program. So they're very unique things, but they're different vastly. So, like you said, keep it diverse and keep options open. If I really wanted, I can try and maybe get a marketing specialist job, as I'm very much into those concepts. And I've done some direct marketing with people. I've worked with a car product company and sold car product like accessories to people. Literally, essentially, if I was to give you a depiction of it. Imagine you're coming into your car with your groceries after Walmart, and I come up and approach you and try and sell you something in the parking lot. But I was able to, through that, I really learned that's when marketing could be a niche for me, as well as being a personal trainer or working at a gym or working for someone else at a gym. I can do those things as well, but as much as I can do that, and I'm good at those things, I think sales is definitely where I'd want to pursue after university. I love sales. I love the high risk, high reward setting. I like that competitive nature, and I like the idea of, we're competitive guys in nature, so we don't mind this realm or this ideology of, hey, you know what? We know we could kill it, but we could also bomb it. You have to give and take with the industry you're in. Marketing is a fantastic gig, and it's so much fun. And I think you can really I bet you're probably enjoying what you're doing. I enjoy
it's
what
very
I'm doing.
unique. It's very unique, and there's a lot of opportunity. It's not easy. I have people, you probably get this a lot too, but I have people say one of my friends is in the RCMP, and he's like, oh, Alex, I don't know how you could do that. I'm like, I don't know how you could do what you do. Everyone has their own challenges, and some people absolutely are the master of their domain in sales. I'm definitely very comfortable in sales because that's what I've done is just business development, right? Helping businesses develop their book of business for the last 7 years.
You just kept adding to the skill set and the tools, right? So
it's just different. It's just been different experience from different occupations. That's it, or different jobs. And
obviously the product or service might switch too.
Yeah.
Right? You might have to learn about a whole new industry.
Oh yeah.
But
the beautiful thing about sales, Reece, is it doesn't matter what you're selling, as long as you've got that foundation built. Banking set the stage for me, so I can literally sell anything, or I can sell any product or any service. You just teach me teach me about the product a little bit, and then I'll figure out how to sell it.
I've realized lately the biggest thing when I was able to sell a lot of product, it was last summer. And, obviously you learn to have quick eyes, good eye set. You have to react really quickly and be quick on your feet. The first week I got there, I think the sales quota you were trying to meet a week with the car. It was essentially like a car. I could sell you an initial bottle of car wax, or I could sell you an entire kit. And it ranges from, $40 for an item, and you can buy material as much as you want. I've sold $400 worth of car accessory stuff right to someone and gotten the money right there and then. So it really depends on, I think the biggest thing though is when I was able to make those good sales is I really was able to create value for the person.
Yes.
Creating value is huge. And if they value your product or service, they'll pay anything. They'll really pay anything. And that's why what would I do? I wouldn't look for the cars that were really clean. No, I would look for the cars that had scuff marks on them and brown rust. And I was like, hey, sir, just so you know, I'm not going to charge you anything because you didn't have to for a little clean to show it how it works. But if you were able to take some rust off of someone's tire effortlessly, they're like, hey, wow, that is so easy to use. And that quick moment where you create value is where you have to capture, and that's how you make your sale.
It's educate.
That's what I've seen. The people who have value in their products and services and can create that for the viewer or the consumer are the ones who sell time and time again. And obviously branding and all the other things are largely included. I'm thinking maybe more in a sales setting per se, but wow, that's really awesome, man, that you've had that whole banking experience. I envy you a tiny bit because that's just the hardships you go through now. I've realized when I wasn't able to sell stuff and I was really not meeting a quota for a day or two and getting nervous, that's where you have to really I think good salespeople are also, they can deal with stress, but also manage it well, you know? Okay, how do we calm down, break it down, look at this from another view? How do we try something different here? How do we reapproach this? Versus, you know, some, like you said, people who are in the RCMP, like your friend there, they love regiment. They love consistency. Yeah. And we do too. I know you like, you know, waking up at the same time, eating the same foods and whatnot. But in terms of your job, I like it when it's something different every day.
Yeah. I like more dynamic in the work setting, and then the personal setting, I like more consistency. So
you hit it on the nose there, man.
Absolutely regimented personally with training and nutrition and you know, like I've actually
daily tasks, like daily checkoffs, you know.
Those have to be for me, especially lately, is time blocking. If it's not in the calendar, it doesn't get done for me.
Yeah, if it's not written out, like it's not getting done.
It's got to be written down. It's got to be. So I have a big whiteboard calendar in the kitchen.
No way, man. Me too.
Yeah. So
there you go. Right.
Yeah, it's a magnet. It's got a magnet on the back. It's just glued to the fridge. I like to see my month in advance and in one snapshot.
Okay.
And then I have the whiteboard in the office here. Which has kind of all my, like, because I've been doing my workouts in the office here because I got, you know, a decent amount of space, and then I just got my pull-up bar in there ready to go, and then I just started recently using Google Calendar, and the thing I love about Google Calendar is because it's color coded.
Buddy, so I was literally just gonna say, my whiteboard is for my. Sorry to cut you off, but just to compare and contrast, my whiteboard is it's a weekly basis, but I'm huge. Yeah. I'm huge on the Google Calendar because I just like having it all in one place. Mm-hmm. My phone is my baby. Like I can do everything on this. I have absolutely everything, but there's Google Calendar. I have Google Photos, Maps, Translate, Sheets, Slides. Everything.
Because it's so intuitive.
You never know when you're just going to have a good idea or something you want to just jot down, and you want to be able to do that wherever you are.
Oh, definitely.
But no, I like the idea of having two whiteboards and seeing the month ahead. I definitely like that idea too, because it's one thing to see it on an app, but to see it physically handwritten in front of you, it's a whole different ballpark when you write it out. I think people really don't see the value in writing shit out on stuff. But we'll just be raw here for a second. That's like I've really started getting in the habits of writing my goals out every day and on paper, and just the power of putting pen to paper, and you really visualize it a lot more. I think.
You definitely do. The interesting thing is once it's written in ink, it solidifies what you need to get done.
Yeah.
And then as a backup, keep the digital copy as a backup in a spreadsheet or in a
something
calendar.
Along those lines. Yeah. Totally.
That way you're saving yourself. But that's all the time we got for today, Reece. I've actually got to go and work out with my buddy here. I don't want to keep him waiting.
Oh, buddy, no worries.
But I definitely want to do another episode with you in the future, or at least a call to continue this conversation. I have a few more questions I want to ask you for sure in the future.
Of course, man. Well, hey, really, you go get a good workout in, man.
Yeah, buddy.
Hold you up.
And really enjoyed having you on, and really looking forward to us chatting again, buddy. And hopefully we can definitely visit before, I don't know when I'll be able to visit you because of the pandemic, but
sometime soon. I think this is a good first step. And man, obviously really happy to reconnect, and you go get a good workout, man. We'll figure out something for later, but you have yourself a great evening. All right.
Yeah, you too, buddy. Thanks for your time.
All right. Peace, brother.
All right. I hope you all enjoyed this special guest series episode brought to you by RadioGuestlist.com. Again, this is your host, Alex Muir. And if you'd like to learn more about kind of what I do and this podcast, MindCep Podcast, you can check me out on my social media. I always post all my links of my social media in every episode that I post. And I share all my posts, my podcast posts on my LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. So you'll be able to check out the podcast links on there. So if you want to connect with me, get to know me, I will be answering messages on there if you have any questions. And again, if you want to hear more episodes like these, or if you have any feedback, please let me know.
on social media. You can send me a message, or you can feel free to follow my podcast, and be sure to keep checking in and see what I'm up to. I really appreciate everyone that listens to my podcast, and hope you guys all enjoy it, and see y'all next time. Take care.